Everybody can have a seat because you're about to get it again at a whole nother level from a whole different perspective.
All right.
And we're streaming live in the metaverse right now. So everybody represent, show them how we do it at Miles College in the metaverse. So now I am super excited to introduce you to these strong black kings right here. I love the fact it's an all black male panel showing you about this whole wide world of gaming. I'd like to introduce you to a good friend of mine, Mr. Cory Henry. He's founder of Steam Revolution, Inc. He's a visionary. He's a father. He's a rock star. He's a mover and a shaker, and he continues to evolve this space, and he always reaches out to connect with BCGA to figure out how we're going to do this. He called me the other day. We're going to figure out how we can get actual tablets and technology in the hands of individuals who may not have that luxury and that access. And we're going to start with our 16-member HBCU member institutions and then continue to expand it to those who want to continue to be able to have the world at their fingertips, literally. He's a visionary who's broadly experienced and competent leader with a track record of implementing organizational change that leads to improvements and positive change. Trained as a systems engineer, he is a proud West Point graduate. He's a strategic process-driven influencer with the ability to develop teams and cause shift. In his 25 years of leadership, Cory's had P&L experience with first to logistics and manufacturing supply chain management. His broad base of experience is a combination of military and corporate achievement matched with small business entrepreneurial success. He used to own Edible Arrangements in Atlanta, him and his wife. He encourages associate work to work cross-functionally, to go beyond the boundaries of their job description in constant pursuit of synergy. Cory's goal is preparing successful for-profit and non-profit organizations for the digital transformation that's necessary to create a lasting value in communities where the valuable have no hope. I'm proud to introduce to you Mr. Cory Henry.
Thank you, Keisha. How many agree that I'm going to totally rewrite that intro, huh? Nah, I'm just joking. It's good to be here, and we're going to be transparent. Are y'all okay with that? We're going to be transparent about the future. We're going to be transparent about the state of the United States, about how money works, you know, and we're going to be transparent about AI and what that means to jobs of the future. Because we didn't come here, we didn't drive this far, and we drove to North Carolina last time. We didn't do that to placate you guys. We came here to be a bit prophetic and to warn you about or to excite you about what's coming in the future, because the future is for you, not for us old folks, right? The future is exactly for you guys. You will create our future, and now your ideas have become money, right? Software has become money. Oh my God, right? And when I say that, I'm talking about blockchain. How many people know what I'm talking about when I say blockchain? Okay, the moment blockchain was created, software ideas became currency, and it's not going anywhere. If anything, it's increasing in value every day from an understanding point of view. So the value in digital currency is in understanding, not in token dollar worth. The value in digital currency is in understanding and in the utility, the usage of it in our everyday lives. And that's what we're here to really talk about today, this panel, this esteemed panel. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Myself, I run a nonprofit organization, Steam Revolution. We focus on creating a true digital future, creating jobs and building workforce development in that space, creating opportunity where opportunity doesn't currently exist. And I don't have to explain that to all these people in here who are already in gaming. So my particular slant on that is around teaching the areas that are not really being taught, and that's blockchain, that's AI, that's cloud. You know, that's our true understanding of how to be secure in that space and not let us build up these big, huge brands and then somebody steal them from us. So because we are going to be digitally enabled, we have to be digitally prepared defensively, not just offensively. Meaning it's great that we're going to create all these personas, but how are you going to protect those personas? And how are you going to ensure that they remain yours and that you can pass them on to the next generation if we can't take beyond a surface level understanding of it, right? And when I say surface, I'm talking as a user. As a user or a game player, that's surface level understanding. When we get into how it was made and how it's protected and how it either allows somebody into or not into my own personal space, now you're talking way deeper than surface level, and we're getting into, the real value creation that we bring to that table beyond just our culture. We bring solutions. We created this stuff. Technology came from us. So I said that to say I brought people who have traveled all over the country, if not all over the world, or their influences all over the world, as far as how our culture has created and affected technology and the return of technology to our culture. So I'll start on the end. I want to introduce my brother Red Pill, a pillar in the community. Please introduce yourself, brother.
Yes, indeed. Peace to the family. Peace to everybody that showed up. Salute. I'm Brother Red Pill, one half of the Twin Pillars, the co-founder of the Netaverse, the co-founder of Know the Ledge Media, and also the co-founder of Know the Ledger Media. And I am an AI enthusiast. I've been traveling around the world. My latest episode on High-Level Conversations, which is the EYL network. By show of hands, how many of y'all know what Earn Your Leisure is? How many of y'all ever watch High-Level Conversations? Y'all, more of y'all need to be raising your hands. Real talk. Y'all need to understand what's going on in real time. You dig? It's a lot going on. There's a lot of things to celebrate. I don't trauma bond. I'm not here to talk about problems. I'm not here to attach to your trauma. I'm here to talk more about what is available in the future. You dig what I'm saying? Or what's available right now, because like the brother said, we're speaking to the future. We're going to plant seeds today that will germinate in the subconscious of at least one of you. You feel me? To begin to see the $1 trillion marketplace that awaits you if you go in that direction, versus going in a direction where the doors are closing in your faces, every other minute. Like basketball, no disrespect to the league and whatnot, but how many people are going to make it to the NBA? How many people are going to make it to the NFL? How many people are going to make it as a rapper? You dig what I'm saying? Being signed to Empire. You know what I mean? If that's still your goal and your aspirations, you need what is known as the Great Reset, and that's what we represent. Peace.
So in addition to my brother Red Pill, who's got a lot more fire to breathe before we leave here, we brought my brother Slice, and next, these guys are certified in the metaverse space. They've done major productions at Blockchain Miami. They've done major metaverse productions where companies are trying to monetize the metaverse, not just go play in it, but how do we monetize it? How do we make money from it? How do we have events that grow our brands from it? So these guys are the real pros in that. So I brought them. They're kind of the other twins, if you will, in this space. And they interact a lot when they're on stage together. So I'll let them introduce each other. Y'all introduce yourselves.
We like the Atlanta and New York version of what Kid and Play. We often when we come up and speak, we always have opposing views that always meet somewhere in the middle, and I think that's why we work so well together, because we understand that it's not about seeing it one way. It's about being able to see it through multiple perspectives to get more of a worldly view of what's going on, get a more well-rounded view. So to introduce myself, I go by Slice. The reason why I introduce myself as Slice is because that's also my brand. It's been my name forever. My grandma called me Slice. It's my nickname. I came in on the music side as an artist, producer. That led me, deeper down into tech, and also producing music, writing music for film, television, also curating music for games and being able to actually help people learn how to monetize their music, their IP. I do other things as well, but my background is in graphic design, web design, immersive technology, and music, amongst other things. So where I come in at is I add my creative input. I do a lot behind the scenes, and I'm a team player at the end of the day. Like, just because I have something to say, I don't always say it. It's important to observe first. So before you make a move, you know exactly what you're gonna do. Confidence to me is extremely important. I'm extremely confident in everything I do, whether I'm good at it or not. That's just what it is, So I'm Slice. It's nice to meet y'all. It's a lot of wisdom in this room. And if I'm gonna tell y'all anything, be confident in what you do. Because if you don't believe in it, nobody else gonna believe in it. So, I'll leave y'all with that.
What's good, everybody? I'm next. I'm most known for being a catalyst, honestly. If I really break it down to what I actually do, I see opportunities. You might have a skill that they don't know about, and I'm like, hey, Danny, this guy. Yo, this guy, that guy. And then we make something cool happen. That's really what I do. Right. But not just connecting stuff. You got to actually have a plan. Because when you just say, hey, man, talk to this guy, they're going to say, okay, great. I spoke to him. I sent him an email. Now what? We do this a lot where we'll say, man, support my business. But then it's like, how do you support each other's business? It's not always money. Actually, money's one of the easiest things to get if you have any form of skill. And then it's one of the easiest things to get, even if you don't have skill, but you know somebody who has skill, and you can market their skills.
Right, arbitrage.
That's a great word. Arbitrage.
Right.
But we ain't gonna do the thesaurus thing today. We're just gonna say value transfers. Sometimes that's all money is. It's a transfer of value. I give you something, you gave me something. It's not about the type of currency. So that's why we'll play that crypto thing every once in a while, but it's also not about money. When I'm talking to you about crypto, I'm talking to you about transfer of value. And also, y'all might as well go ahead and wave at the camera. Y'all all live in the metaverse right now, quite literally. This whole production for a while has been free transfer of value, right? Each of y'all have one thing that I know y'all all have, and that's a cell phone. Y'all all got a cell phone, right? On your browser, you can actually show up here. You can actually tell your friends to show up here. And I could actually market your business. That's a nice shirt. If that's your shirt, I could actually market your shirt right here the same way people buy stuff on Macy's. You go to Macy's.com, you buy a picture, and you expect something to come in the mail. Why can't you come to my website, click on a picture, and expect something to come in the mail?
We do it with Amazon.
Amazon is getting into the NFT game.
Before the NFT game.
See, these are things I spoke about 2 years ago, and people were like, that's ridiculous. Who's ever gonna? And I'm like, Amazon's getting into NFTs, and everybody's like, yeah, man, I want to get one of those. I want to get one of the legendary ones, and beep, 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 beep. And I'm like, bruh, you can actually have your own NFT. You can actually sell your own products. Ownership.
And we don't want to assume. So, how many people know what an NFT is in this room? All right, or have heard of it at least. All right.
More people know what an NFT is than Earn Your Leisure. Ain't that crazy?
Well,
right? So think about that.
Because these are the future, right? It's made for them.
Not even. I'm not giving y'all no passes. What y'all got is there's a certain level of, you're gonna pick up language because it's in the culture. Certain phrases, I say crypto, you might not know how to research it, but you've heard the word. You might not know what an NFT is, but you've heard the word. You know what I'm saying? There are platforms that are free or cheap or affordable that you might not have heard of that will teach you tons about all the things you've been hearing about, as opposed to, and this is light work. I didn't give him the
Wait,
website.
well, before we hop in, I want to let my man Verse introduce himself, and then we're going to we're going to get into the program. I know my man Next is ready to give y'all this sauce, but go ahead, please, bro.
Peace, everybody. How y'all doing today? My name is Brandon Smith. I represent Future-Proof Org, along with my partner Cory here. Pretty much what we focus on is transitioning brands to the crypto space, to the Web3 space. My focus in particular is dealing with transitioning to content creation, and we'll touch more on that later.
So we're going to say let's get some terms out of the way. Web3 is the world of blockchain and business, right? So beyond just crypto is just one particular part of blockchain. Web3 is everything else, right? Everything else associated with blockchain technology and its security and its ability to transfer value, right? So we watch Instagram or we stream music, right? And we're giving value when we watch, right? Somebody's making money because we watched.
An economy.
Right? And now there's a platform that allows us to get value back for watching, right? And that's called value for value contracts. So as everything that you do in the very near future, if it ain't a what's in it for me attached to it, you won't do it. So right now I play solitaire on my phone because I can earn Satoshis. And I would have played solitaire for free, but now I wouldn't unless I can earn Satoshis. And it'll be that way with Facebook posts, Instagram posts, social media, regular media, news media, a commercial for Outback Steakhouse. If you're not earning something for giving them your attention, then you're a part of the old value system. And we're here to tell you about the new value system where that is the case, where you do earn. So when you come play my game, you earn something. And when you watch my music video or listen to my song, you earn something. And it's yours that you can hand off to your children and to your children's children. We've never experienced nothing like that in America, right? All we've done is create value for all of the Viacom, Telecom, AT&T, all of them that are buying up everything now. Why? Because they got the eyeballs. They got the attention. So we're here to really, first I'm going to ask some questions. I got some questions to ask the panel. And I really want to save enough time for you guys to be able to ask us questions. Plus, we're going to be here to network with you guys because you just got hit in the face with the gaming superstars. But we're also here to let you know blockchain and gaming are twin-headed monsters. And there won't be a gaming without blockchain in the near future because there was not a blockchain without gaming. Gaming saved blockchain. You know, it was the first universal token where you can exchange value that you earned in Madden with value that you earned in 2K, or value that you earned in Pokemon with value that you earned in Roblox. You know, that's what blockchain really, that's the role that it'll play in gaming. So because we're here talking about gaming, why would we not tell you about how it's going to pay you for the rest of your life? That would be back asswards. So I want to make sure that we're telling you about the value that you're creating for Sony, for Nintendo, for all those, and how you can pivot some of that value into your future because, you know, it starts now. So my brother Red Pill talked about AI, and I want to ask a question about AI because we've all heard the news about ChatGPT. I know it's already hit you guys. Some of you are probably doing your homework with it. But the ones that aren't, Red Pill, please tell us what is your impression of what AI is going to do with the gaming industry from a creative point of view? And, you know, and what are some of the things that they could be thinking about how to deploy that on you know, for their advantage?
All right, excellent question. First and foremost, the gaming industry will soon be disrupted by AI, the same way that many of the quote-unquote legacy industries right now, generative AI, by show of hands, how many people are familiar with Gen AI, Mid-Journey, Stable Diffusion, Mid-Journey, Stable Diffusion, / Imagine? No?
You got to school them.
I got one for him. Okay, I got one for him.
We're recording this, so y'all can go back and if you miss it, you'll catch it.
Okay, go ahead. So right now, there are free apps that are available, mainly through Discord. Mid-Journey, Stable Diffusion is open source. It's available for anybody who would like to utilize it. You can go on YouTube and just Google it, and there are a ton of YouTube videos that will walk you through the process. By show of hands, how many people heard of Lensa? When the Lensa pictures were popping off and people were generating what is known as magic avatars, what actually was taking place was a company decided to monetize the API of Stable Diffusion and built an app. This app, Lensa, already existed. They just upgraded it by infusing the API, which would basically be the open source, on top of their app, and then they went and they sold the idea to influencers on the internet. So they utilize online marketing with macro influencers. By show of hands, how many people know what macro influencers are? Okay. How many people follow Kai, what is it, Kai Cenat, the streamer, right? Aiden Ross and all of them. Academics, DJ Academics. Come on, y'all. Talk black to me. Yeah, macro influencers, somebody with over 100,000 followers and whatnot. Those people are very valuable in the space of the digital economy because they could sell water to a well. These are what companies are throwing big bags at. If you could run up a bag, if you could run up followers and become a macro influencer in this space, that's like, you know, that's like a portfolio. That's a heavy business card. You know, you could get in Twitter spaces and throw your weight around, right? So what they did was they were making $1 million a day with the Lensa app, but they were utilizing free software, right? So they monetized free software, and a lot of people were, and then that was the beginning of it. Moving 3 months down the line to where we're at right now, there is a humongous explosion of generative AI in the market. Silicon Valley and the investors and whatnot, they're pivoting away from their older investments in Web3, blockchain, crypto and whatnot, and they're shifting over to AI, ChatGPT, OpenAI, and all of these other new technologies that are blowing up. Now, how this is going to disrupt the gaming industry is because there's two, I'm just going to speak of the two, I'm speaking of two tools. I don't call them apps. They're tools. So what I want everyone in the audience to do is when you hear of Mid-Journey and when you hear of Stable Diffusion, I want you to think of it as if it is a magical tool, right? You know how they got hammers and wrenches? Imagine if they came out with a smart hammer or a smart wrench that can help you build a house, right? We're in Alabama. This is farming land, right? People are familiar with the whole aspect of utilizing your hand, tilling the soil, the machinery that it takes to till the soil, and how the machinery helped to speed up the production of agriculture, farming, and things of that nature, because prior to that, our people were tilling the soil with their hands. We were the beast of burden, right? And then the quote-unquote first industrial revolution came around, and it came with the cotton gin, right? And it came with the steamroller and all of that. And it did what? It pushed America into what is known as super world. It began to be seen as it could compete with other global economies because what? The production increased 100x. You couldn't get that off the back of the slaves. You know what I mean? And even America built enormous wealth off the back of the slaves. But when the machines came, they replaced chattel slavery, hard labor, sweat equity. How many people by show of hands want to work in the field till they die? How many people want to put in work till they back break? How many people want to work to 80 till they get their check and whatnot and just sit around, you know, and go on vacation after they retire? at 81, leading up, right? Nobody. There's an author by the name of Tim Ferriss who put out a book in 2013 called A 4-Hour Work Week. We are now there, right? Where you could work 4 hours through the whole week and make as much money as somebody working 40 hours a week, just based off of your quote-unquote output, because you've automated your business. You have 100, you have 10, you have 5, you have 20 income streams. By a show of hands, how many of y'all got 20 income streams right now? The gamers that are out here playing video games in front of the computer, giving Sony all of your information, all of your data, all of your time, all of your attention, and your retention, your eyeballs. How many people got 5 to 7 income streams? Well, no problem. I'm not here to judge, right? I'm here to let you know that all of that is possible with the rise of AI, with the rise of generative AI, with the rise of ChatGPT. So I'm going to just talk about 2 apps right now, or 2 tools, ChatGPT and Midjourney. I'm not even going to speak about the other 1,000 tools that are here for free, waiting for you to pick it up, right? It's not a color thing anymore. It's not a, oh, I didn't know. It's none of that. That's why I say I'm not here for trauma bond. I don't even want to talk about that. I don't want to deal with that, because that's what's holding us back. That's what's putting frowns on our faces. That's what got us looking down when we walking and whatnot. That's a psyop. And I could see that the psyop has been successful on our people, because I remember when Obama was the president, y'all was younger. Y'all had your heads up. Y'all had your heads up. You had a future. You had a black president, and you was like, I want to be president. Fast forward to where we at right now. We want to be drill rappers. We want to be twerkers. You know what I mean? We just want to make it to next week and whatnot. So we are being inundated through the media and through a lot of things that are, quote unquote, put billion-dollar operations to make you feel like you're lesser than. Okay? While the other people have fun. And they're not putting you on to what's going on. They're going to trauma bond with you. They're going to talk about your problems. They're going to just throw money at you in the name of diversity and all of these other catchphrases and whatnot, while the world is moving at the pace, right? The quantum pace is moving so fast, you might not even realize it. So to have 7 income streams is normal now, especially automated, recurring, meaning that you wake up to money. Does anybody know how that feels? To go to sleep and wake up to a few racks that you didn't have to work for because you got an ebook on Gumroad, and then you was able to set up something on Twitter through your Zapier where it's automating everything. So if somebody follows you or clicks a button and whatnot, they go there, they get their book, they you know what I mean? And you're getting all of that money while you sleep.
I think I know what just happened.
What happened? That's a light bulb moment, by the way.
You know, we're talking about AI. We're talking about like ChatGPT, this tool that you can talk to, and you say, "Hey, write my book report," and then it's like, "I don't know what that means," and then you're like, "Man, I'm not really good at this. This app is stupid. It doesn't work." The reality is this. Y'all, how many of y'all got like iPhones?
The new one.
No. I don't care about that.
All the hands.
All right, so a lot of y'all have iPhones. How many are, so I guess I'm assuming the other people got Androids, because everybody got a phone, right? Every couple of months, they upgrade your software. It might not actually do anything, but it's an upgrade. They'll say, "Hey man, we got magenta in the fonts now. You gotta upgrade it, because if you don't upgrade it, your phone is gonna lock, it's gonna be a brick, you gotta get a new phone." Right. You're gonna get that upgrade. 20 years ago, and it sounds funny to say it, but 20 years ago, they were saying email is dumb. Everybody has email, even if you don't use it. You need it for Netflix. You need it to have a Twitch account just to watch somebody else.
Right.
20 years ago, they said this is ridiculous. Now we're getting forced into the next, that's that Atlanta stuff. Right? You know that?
Excuse me, sir. It's
Oh, yeah. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Is that better? See what I'm saying? Yeah, all right. So peep game. It's an upgrade. It's happening regardless of how you feel. It's happening regardless of if you think it's necessary. Magenta. It's coming. The difference is, are you prepared for it? And that's it. This stuff isn't as scary. You know what fear is? Fear is not knowing something.
Not understanding it.
Yeah.
So you fear it.
It's always easy to fear something you don't understand. Right. Like I've always been this frame, right? And there's always gonna be somebody who's bigger than me. But the reality is, they don't always got fight in them. But you could fear somebody because, oh, that's a big dude. But right. Everything is daunting when you don't know what it is. So he said a lot of words, and he said a lot of things about technology and things that come in mid-journey, all these different applications and tools that you might not have heard of, but it doesn't matter because we have YouTube now. You know what I'm saying? We have access to resources now,
right,
to make this stuff easy.
So the term is collective intelligence. We have collective intelligence now.
Brain
so
trust.
It's not about what one of us knows. It's about what all of us knows.
Right.
And being able to point the power of what we all know at one thing.
Right.
Right? Or achieving one goal with the power of what we all know.
Right.
You know, so.
Real quick, I just wanted to qualify the question. Real quick, y'all. So this is how it will work, disrupting the video game industry. Right here, I prepared a book called Prompt Engineering 101. This is specifically for ChatGPT. In this book, this is called Persona, right? I am utilizing ChatGPT to become somebody. So these are multiple prompts. I have one prompt that says, act as an IT architect. I speak to ChatGPT, I say, I want you to act as an IT architect. I will provide some details about the functionality of an application or other digital products, and it will be your job to come up with ways to integrate it into the IT landscape. This could involve analyzing business requirements, performing a gap analysis, and mapping the functionality of the new system to the existing IT landscape. I'm going to end right there. What I'm saying is, in this book, right, the same way that I could prepare a whole book to teach you step 1 to step 100 on how to basically utilize ChatGPT to prompt out a AAA video game. Every single nook and cranny, no stone will go unturned, right? So I could utilize the persona of ChatGPT to become anybody that I want. That is the reverse of what's going on in our community. We have an identity crisis. We don't know who we are. We don't know our greatness. We don't know that we are, like the brother said, we're the original architects, the original engineers, even to the point that a melanated man created the cell phone, the video game cartridge. When you look at the list of inventors from the 1800s, it's more than 100 of them. George Washington Carver, how many people know who that is? Right? Some brilliant geniuses came out of Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, all up in the deep south. So we are here to carry on that tradition to this day, right now, to not be stuck in the past and, romanticize what somebody else did, but look at yourself in the mirror and figure out what are you going to do to immortalize your last name moving into the next 20 and 30 years and whatnot. So people will talk about you the same way that they talk about George Washington Carver, because we're in a fertile time right now where people are creating things out of their minds. So where we're at right now, by us being up here talking to you in the audience, we are basically onboarding you to a $15 trillion marketplace, and that's only generative AI. That's not blockchain and other things. I'm just talking about Gen AI, $15 trillion by 2025, right? So we putting you on a plane before it takes off. We're putting you on a train before it pulls off on a station. Technology is about timing. If this was 2009 and I was talking to a classroom about a white paper that came out from Satoshi Nakamoto about Bitcoin, and it was going for 5 cents, and then somebody came up here and put their lunch money together and went upstairs after this conference and went and bought 500 Bitcoins, right? We'd be on a yacht right now, toasting it up, because you would be a multi-billionaire. If we were able to come in front of you and tell you about NFTs, right before it came out, if we were here the week after Ethereum dropped and was like, yo, there's this thing out there called Ethereum, y'all have no idea. You would be part of the 0.0001% who would be onboarded to something that's about to take off like a rocket. It don't matter your age, your level of learning, your skin complexion, whether you short or tall, whether you pigeon-toe or bow-legged. None of that matters anymore. It's all about timing. And fortune favors the bold. You got to be a risk taker. Right? How many people play on FanDuel all day? Y'all be betting and gambling and whatnot with the sports.
They ain't gonna say yes to that after that.
I'm just saying, how many of y'all play dice? How many of y'all play CeeLo?
Guinness.
How many people take chances? Huh?
I saw some big
Hey,
bingo
they
balls
took
Okay.
a chance.
around
They
here.
rose their hand.
They took a chance and rose their hand. So this is not even taking a chance. This ain't even that. Because like I said, how valuable is your time? What do you do with it? Right? Can you assess what you're doing with all of this time? Y'all in college, and that's great. I was in the computer lab. Are you utilizing it to its top agilities? Are you building video games in the video lab that you got access to that people in the hood don't got access to? People in corporate America, they don't got the access that y'all got. You feel me? Y'all got the tools right here. You got time. You don't got no bills. All of y'all don't got children like that. You feel me? You got time. And you smart.
That's love. Like, you hear that passion? He don't even know y'all. He don't even know you.
No, let's circle back. Well, let me do this.
Person.
Let me circle back, and Verse, I want you to chime in on this one. Let's circle back to gaming, because we're here because of gaming, and we're talking blockchain and AI. So, how do you? What are some platforms where gaming is connecting with blockchain?
Well, I would say I'll give a couple titles. Some titles I'm experienced with. Some a couple games I've held assets, digital assets for these titles. I would definitely look into Splinterlands. You can go to splinterlands.com, and I'm bringing them up as an example because that's been one of the top 5 blockchain gaming titles for like 3 straight years. And you would just learn a lot as far as how games are becoming their own ecosystems now. So we're just like you own digital assets on a Fortnite or a Call of Duty, you own skins, you earn different weapons. Blockchains allows you to own those assets directly and exchange them with other players. So it pretty much creates an open marketplace in that regard. So Splinterlands is a great example. Axie Infinity, that's AXIE Infinity. Those are 2 of the top 5 games, and like I said, just based on the business model, they've been around multiple years, so that's a great place to start.
And I think on the previous panel they talked about creating skins for Halo and Fortnite and things of that nature. Now, in the
Not to cut
blockchain
you
world,
off,
there's an equivalent there, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much called wearables. That's kind of the terminology. What would you say as far as with your experience in the metaverse and I guess with the metaverse and the game, and how were those worlds merging? And I know in some cases metaverse is actually synonymous with game, and they call sandbox a game. You know what I'm saying?
Sandbox is literally, matter of fact, if y'all know nothing about game production, Sandbox has a free, it's literally free. You can go over there and make a full game. It's not going to be AAA at all, but it's a game. You can make the assets, you get paid for creating the experience. I think my favorite part about being a creator is that you actually can get paid for creating. Like right now, if you got like, let's say you got a dance and you do it on TikTok and it takes off and it goes viral, and then, you know, Peggy Sue does your dance and she does it horribly, but Peggy Sue has 1 million followers, and now it's the Peggy Sue 2-step. You know what I'm saying? Your original content no longer matters. It goes in the black box. They never think about it again. They never talk about it. It's the Peggy Sue two-step. Woo-wee. And that right there is you having no access and or control of your digital content, your IP. The difference is if we create a dance using Blender, which is another free software, if you create something using all of the, like MangoDB, they have all sorts of free software where you can actually create content and actually have actual ownership of it, like verifiable ownership, where if somebody actually takes your stuff. Ownership is such a word that people don't even like, they don't register. Like, if y'all ever follow me on IG, you'll see on my profile, it says the source and the sauce. Like, I'm the sauce, but I get it from the source. The thing is, most people don't realize that your content, the stuff that actually makes you special, is literally what other people are observing about you to try to sell back to you. Like, what's fashion anyway? Fashion is somebody saying, I like that hoodie. I think I can make that. And all of a sudden, I'm going to say, oh, this is like really expensive because I made it. This guy had it, but whatever to that guy. You know what I'm saying? Forget that. I'm selling this for $300. Perfect example was Kanye. Kanye literally made a white T-shirt, and it sold out. It was a white T-shirt, hundreds of dollars. What made it so? What made it $300? Do you know what I'm saying? It's Kanye's shirt. Think about Web3 though. What's Kanye's shirt in a digital environment? You could have made that shirt. Free software. I'm talking straight up free software.
And
like free.
And as we're running out of time, so obviously, you know, we're gonna stay and network with you guys. We want to thank Keisha for this opportunity.
Oh yeah, it's not over. So we want to do 2 questions down here, and then we're gonna move upstairs so the food doesn't get cold from McDonald's and the beverages, and we'll continue the dialogue. But if anybody else wants to ask 2 questions, come on up now. Don't be shy. And if not, we will absolutely continue the conversation with this amazing panel from the wide world of gaming, and then we'll also continue if you want to talk more to the Black Gamers Matter panel as well. And then anybody else who hasn't signed up for the 2K, NBA 2K, and the Rocket League esports, certainly let us know. I want to send a special shout out to Foster Ware, Alabama Power, who's here in the building. They're one of the partners as well for the gaming lab upstairs that made the gaming lab as amazing as it is. Once you get a chance to see it, he brought 3 of his sons out, 3 young future kings, and out today to participate. So we appreciate the support. But any other questions on the Dr. A?
Questions?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment. So I have 2 children. One is 21. He's a student here, graduating soon. And then my son here, Trey, that you guys, some of it, no, this one's Quest. This is Q. He runs track for TSU. And that's how we started that conversation over there. And he's 2 of his friends that came from TSU with him. One's from Wisconsin, one's from Florida. But how all of this started, you guys, was when President Knight, who's a big fan and friend of this, she was going to come at 2 o'clock, but I told her, you know, she's had a long week. We had our board meeting, and then our basketball team, we went to Georgia, you know, drove 6 hours to Savannah and back. So I told her I would extend this love from the college on behalf of her. But what you're going to see when you go upstairs is a manifestation of her belief in the students. And like I said earlier, when she said, are these chairs the good chairs? Are these chairs the best chairs? Right? Because that's what she's looking for. So you just saw my face. If you saw my face when I saw Foster Ware for a second, it was just like a full circle moment. Because the first check that my husband and I ever got for my husband's sports medicine camp came from President Bobby Knight when she was an officer at Alabama Power, and that guy handed it to me, right? And that was a $10,000 check for sports medicine. When you go up, the sports medicine camp for young people, but when you go upstairs and you see what Southern Company and Alabama Power has invested into Miles College, we cannot thank these industries enough. So can we give them a round of applause for being here, Foster? And it's not just because of money. It's not just because of that. It's like they won't let us fail. They won't let our students fail. You know what I'm saying? So we believe in that. This is why I stood up. I just saw him. I love what y'all had to say, and I hope the students get it, because the right people are in the room to hear this and get this and receive it. And if I could go back in time, one of my really good friends, he went to Silicon Valley we went to college in the 90s at Ohio State. He was computer science. We went to New York to see him. We was like, come on, we got to go. Let's go party or whatever. And he was like, hold on. He was like, I'm reading the paper and then I'm coming. And we was like, what you mean you reading the paper? He was reading it on a computer. We was like, that's dumb. And then we was like reading it. And then he was like, yeah, my internship is how to make music smaller so you can listen to it on the computer. And we was like, smaller? Who wants to listen to music on the computer? So y'all know how long ago that was. Y'all know. And if y'all saw, Van Jones came here last year and he said we met before email. So I wish I could go back in time, just like he said. He said, technology is all about timing. I hope y'all receive everything. Everything that you got. Huh?
It's cycles. It's
Yeah,
literal cycles.
it's cycles.
They always
It's
tell
cycles.
you that the history repeats itself.
Yeah.
But they always say it like it's scary. Like, oh yeah, I saw that was coming because history
Right.
repeats itself.
Right.
Except
Yeah.
Everything
So
from
it's
the
the
media, everything coming from the media is fear-based, right?
Unless it's
and
our
you,
media.
you could tell that it's fear-based because they jumped at the opportunity to say that ChatGPT is taking jobs, but they didn't continue to say that it's also giving up 1 million jobs.
Right.
There are millions of use cases to not. They automated robots to flip fries. Boo hoo. Dude on the fries don't have a job no more, right? But he could actually now, with his severance pay, right, create an AI that could rival the AI that's flipping the fries. Now he could create a ghost kitchen and he could employ multiple AI technology to just flip fries and burgers and whatnot. So what it's doing is it's helping level you up into what is known as we are in the future. By a show of hands, how many people know that the Jetsons and the Flintstones was taking place at the same time?
What do you mean?
You ain't even know it. It's
The
happening right
Jetsons
now.
was in technology. They were in the sky. They were the elitists. They had all of the technology. They was tapped into AI, robotics, and everything. And the same time, this was all taking place at the same time, the Flintstones was living in the Stone Age.
Right.
Who are you? That's what you got to ask yourself.
Gotta
You
make
the
that decision.
Are you the Jetsons or are you the Flintstones? And I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, one more thing this is what the comment I wanted to say too, was you guys, some of you may not know, I'm the provost of the college. What that means is I'm the top academic officer. I do all of the academics, all the grades, everything, all the faculty, everything reports to me. And when my son, his brother, came to me when I got this job, he was like, Mom, you need to create e-gaming. I thought he made it up. I thought it was, And then right after that, the week after that, I went with President Knight to the White House Commission on HBCUs, and they had a conference. And in the conference, it was about black and e-gaming, and black colleges and e-gaming. And I went in there, and I thought, well, it's going to be packed because, I looked up how popular this is and can be. And literally, there were like 4 people in the room, and 2 of them were charging their cell phones. Like, so I'm sitting in the room, like, wait a minute, like, everybody's not getting this. So, so for the young people and then for the people my age, like, even though it just seems like it's small because it's new to us, like, we're on the curve is already curved, and we could jump in and make an impact. Last thing for me as a provost, I'm okay with ChatGPT. People writing papers and stuff with it, but that there's an ethical thing with that. Yeah. But this is how I don't use ChatGPT. Inside Canva, they have their own AI that they launched, and I'm a super Canva user. Right. I use it to start my letters of recommendation. Right. You can use it to start your personal statement. If you can't get a paper started in your head,
This is what ChatGPT did. It broke the wall of writer's block. It took away the blank moment. There's no more blank moment. You now have a collaborator. You now have something that is going to help you with what is called ideation, right? This is where everything starts in the ideation process. Ideation turns into concept turns into product goes into market. That's how you basically, you're bringing it from an idea, from the mental plane into the physical material plane where you could turn it into a physical product. Business.
Let me get my man's question.
How you doing? I'm Tristan Dinwiddie. I'm a senior music education major. Grateful for the opportunity, like she said. The right people are here. Yeah, it's all
No
right.
joke.
So-
I'll let you read all of my verbiage for my social media, bro. You hear his voice? He was like, yeah, so I'm a... Yeah.
So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be around all these great minds, because, you know, being great ain't for everybody. But like my man right here said earlier, you know, this world has become more personalized. It's like, what am I going to get out of this if I give you my time and stuff like that? But, like, the general aspect of this whole thing says y'all done sat down and talked this critical thinking. Like, y'all take this 4-foot kiddie pool and just go 12 feet deep. It's like off real. So, like, how do y'all reach that level of critical thinking? Because, like, I gotta get like y'all, I've always learned, for me, you know, they always had this term, like, knowledge is power. And you could take that with a grain of salt, but applied knowledge is power. Like, what's the point
Right.
of being self-aware if you're not gonna have action behind it?
Yeah.
I wanna ask my good brother right here who's been in Silicon Valley about value, right? People, our people, right? We've been programmed, and I myself, I'm speaking from my perspective, I've been here for a long time on this planet. My generation was programmed to think money over knowledge or applied knowledge. From your perspective, being in Silicon Valley, what is the greatest value asset? Is it money or knowledge?
I believe it's experience.
Experience, correct. Applied knowledge.
Yeah, so for an example, like, you know, you ask why they have why can they think about critical? I remember the first moment I got to Silicon Valley, my CEO, I was like, I'm gonna take all of these books, I'm gonna learn programming, Python, all of this. And I was in the office, and it was like 9:00 p.m. and my CEO just happened to come into the office. The lights was off, and I'm studying. He turned the lights on, and he said, put away all those books. Go actually create. If you have a problem, create it in that specific code, and you're gonna actually come across like challenges and obstacles, and it's gonna be by your passion if you wanna get that actual obstacle complete. And over time, you learn, and eventually you build a product. And at that point, you now are thinking critically on how you can actually enhance that product, which is ideation, which is iteration. And so at that point, they're critically thinking due to the fact that they're experiencing problems over problems. And then at that point right now, you're able to disseminate that information out to other individuals. So while I thought that I need to go to Silicon Valley, I need to read all these books to learn programming language, the same individuals who were creating software platforms and that owned it, they were telling me, like, just go build. And when you go build, at that point, you look back and say, wow, I built this awesome thing, and now it has value. And at the point, you own that, so now somebody else can go buy it from you.
Right. I got 99 problems, so I have 99 opportunities to become a billionaire. I got 99 income streams. The reason why we critical thinkers because we melanated men. You feel me? And we knee deep in getting ourselves out of problems. We knee deep out of getting ourselves out of these roadblocks. We knee deep out of getting out of these obstacles. So we threw ourselves into the fire. You feel me? And by being in the fire for so long and being able to conquer that and being able to create ideation, create solutions to it, like I said, when I changed my mind state from a victim to a victor, that's when everything changed.
Yeah, I want to touch on that too for you, brother. How many of y'all, by a raise of hands, right? How many of y'all have only used one software as far as whatever field you in? Anybody? Y'all have used multiple softwares, right? So, I'll give y'all a hack. I left the music industry. I went top 40, been on TV. I done worked with everybody, right? I left all that because it don't mean nothing to me. What means something to me is what I can create. It wasn't just being able to be around. It was being able to create things and see it come to life. So I would say experience as much as you can. Don't do a bunch of random stuff, but try different things, right? So even with the music, I was just making music at first, and then I started producing, learning how to record myself, learning all the back end stuff, right? I got challenged one day. I was so used to using Pro Tools. When I sat in front of Logic, I was like, bro, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And once I learned how to work that, I was like, okay, let me learn how to work this other program and this other program. And I started realizing, no, they're not all the same, but they all have the same components. You know what I'm saying? And when I started building software, I learned, I said, oh, it's all about who designed it. When you can look at it and understand why they designed it and what it was designed for, you can see why the software was made to be how it be. So when it comes to critical thinking, for me, I put myself in front of as many roadblocks as I can. And when you're in a position where you got to figure it out, you just got to figure it out. So when we started the metaverse, when we started speaking on metaverse, teaching about metaverse, at first, people was laughing. Oh, it's a game.
People still laugh.
Yeah, they still laugh.
People
right?
still laugh to the point where they talk about Roblox, like Roblox is you can't believe y'all, it looks like Roblox.
Right.
But Roblox just hosted the NFL with
Super Bowl, February 4th. I remember the date.
Whoops.
Now, we went from doing contracts at, I say, less than $1,000 to upwards of, 30, 50,000 for one contract. Nah, I'm gonna say this. I gotta say this because y'all gotta hear this. Y'all gotta know this. I come from doing logos for $25. Then I started charging $50. Then I started charging $150. Then I started charging $300. Then I started charging $1,500. But I didn't just raise my price. I raised my value. I didn't just raise my value. I was able to show proof of why I can charge that much. And I was never charging that much because I wanted more money. I looked at my input. I looked at my time. I looked at my creativity. I looked at what I was solving for them. I wasn't just making a logo. If I make you a logo and you put it on 2,000 pairs of shoes and one thing is wrong, I just messed up your whole production line and cost you money. So it starts at the foundation. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of went off on a tangent, but to bring it all the way back, when it comes to critical thinking, it comes down to habits. It comes down to, personal accountability and your circle. So, I know by myself, I'm a monster when it comes to researching, reverse engineering, all of that, right? But I got friends like these. So imagine what we get done in 5 minutes versus what I would have got done in 5 hours.
Imagine the car ride here. We can't even talk.
Oh, man.
But
I'm done.
Okay, so I know we
Mr.
gotta
Gentlemen,
go upstairs.
Yeah, we gotta go upstairs. But the two gentlemen here are gonna introduce themselves, ask their question. We're gonna answer it upstairs. Okay, but before we move to go upstairs, I want to bring all our panelists back up because some of you came in before came in after Black Gamers Matter happened, so you'll know who they are because they've agreed to stay for the networking mixer upstairs. So I want you all to get a chance to meet and interact with them and ask questions, before, during, and or after you get something to eat. Okay, so thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Lamont Moorhead. I'm a junior here at Miles College. So just going back on a lot of what you guys have been talking about, I was honored and granted the opportunity to go to the 3rd National HBCU Blockchain and FinTech Conference. That was my first real encounter of what you guys are up there discussing right now. So my question is to you, I know it's a lot of first timers in here that's never heard about this stuff, but the seed has already been planted in me, and I know it's not by chance that I'm right here, right now. So my question to y'all is, when you got your first encounter with this information, what sparked you and what made you get to this point right here, right now?
Okay. So there's going to be a microphone upstairs. Yep. So you guys remember that question?
Yep, understood.
And this is our next one, our next question.
Hi, my name is Foster Ware IV. I'm a sophomore computer science major at Howard University. I've been exposed to this at the Black Blockchain Summit that was at Howard University. I've dabbled in NFTs. I'm generally aware of some of the terms that you mentioned today. But as I'm studying computer science, I'm really interested in this field, but they're not teaching these specific topics in my classes. And so I'm wondering, you mentioned some tools. You said Stable Diffusion and some other tools, and I'd like to understand these more, but also what else should I be studying and learning to get ahead in these topics?
Indeed, we're definitely going to talk about that upstairs.
Yeah, we definitely going to talk about
It's
that.
something else you guys may already be doing it, but maybe you should have a podcast or something in the metaverse and have students be able to go on or create a online virtual program.
It starts
That's
here.
affordable for students to be able to get this, because the HBCUs don't have the intellectual capital manpower on campus to do it. So why don't we create the institution, the university,
Right.
through the metaverse and
We
like
do
Greg said,
have that.
own it, sell it.
No, we have the
Okay,
online
let's
university.
so we need to let them know
Yep.
about that.
And we
for
just and I
sure.
just put out an ebook called AI for Star Seeds. So we're proactive in basically onboarding our brothers and sisters at any level that they're at.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
We're
here
gonna
for
meet
y'all.
you where you are.
So we're gonna take a couple mics upstairs and finish this conversation. If Davina Mackey, Brittany Seals, Danny, we want everybody to come up front and introduce themselves from Black Gamers Matter real quick, so you all will know who's in the building and who'll be going upstairs. We're gonna go right upstairs for the networking mixer. I want to thank Davina Mackey, especially Sony PlayStation. She's our titanium partner for BCGA. The equipment you're going to see upstairs in the gaming lab, the consoles, the plasmas, the projectors, all was provided by Sony PlayStation, and we appreciate her. First time in Alabama, here from Cali, representing. She's a director of quality assurance at PlayStation, Sony, and the former president of Blacks at PlayStation. So we're Black at PlayStation. So we're super excited to have her here. And then Danny and Brittany, you guys introduce yourselves real quick. Danny is the Jerry Buss of gaming and esports.
Yes, I'm Brittany Seals. I'm the Chief Operations Officer at eSposure, where we work to expose individuals to the professional careers in esports outside of the gaming component, and also give them opportunities to actually learn about those careers and put it into action.
Danny Martin, co-founder and CEO of eSposure. As she stated, I'm here to be able to give you as much information as you possibly can need in regards to enter into this space from a gaming and esports perspective.
And if the panel of the worldwide world of gaming will introduce yourselves one last time, because there's new faces in the room, so everybody know who to talk to when they're upstairs. And thank you.
Peace, brother. Red Pillar, CEO and co-founder of the Netaverse and Nota Ledger, AI enthusiast and Afrofuturist.
Okay. I'm next. I solve problems. I really just solve problems. A lot of different problems. I build in the metaverse. I really general contract at this point. I created a business of actually hosting events. Today's event was in 2 different metaverses at 3 different locations. Just on the ride here, I set that up. So like, we really do stuff. I don't like talking to people just to talk. If y'all really want to actually do something, we can really actually get something shaken today.
I'm Slice, co-founder of StarterKitNow.com, online academy, metaverse incubator, and if y'all really want to learn how this space works, we don't just teach you, we put you in the field. You know what I'm saying? So I'm big on doing, knowing, and doing. You know, your actions become your habits. So, you know, I'm here to, you know, bring that spark, but also get you there. So, you know.
I'm Brandon Smith, represent FutureProof.org, the founder, co-founder, with my partner Cory here. Pretty much focus on bridging brands to Web3. I specialize in content creation, and it's just making sure you own your content and your data.
And I'm Cory Henry, founder of Steam Revolution. My wife and I are both West Point grads. So served in the military, and now are focused on the for what part of our lives, and that's in you know, giving you guys this kind of sauce. So I'm a connector. I'm passionate about the BCGA, passionate about, you know, what's happening in Georgia with film tax credits and getting into, you know, the money behind all of these things. So we're happy to be here and happy to share with you guys as much as we can to build long-term relationships.
Hey, yeah, Keisha, hey, one more time. Give it up for these panelists. They came a long way to share their knowledge. Y'all need to take them up on it.